Hey everybody, this is Worms Ultimate Mayhem. Came out on PlayStation Network last February, around I think it was February 15th was when it came out. So this is Worms 3D and then Worms 4 Mayhem combined together. So all of the content from both of those games into this one package. So it there's plenty of content, like tons of stuff to do. The issue more is that the Worms formula really just does not fit 3D all that well, if at all. Um, there are at least there's some redeeming stuff to it a little bit. Mostly as far as like customization stuff goes, a lot of customization options. You can create a team, you can create weapons, game style, landscape, stuff like that. Um, so I wanted to like to edit a team. So I made, of course, the penguins, and so you can name. You have your 6 different worms, so you can name them. So you got Tux, DJ Penguin, Macaroni, the King, Penguin, and Rockhoppa, right? So some good names for a penguin-based team. And then you can kind of scroll over to the next page, so you can set what they're going to sound like, and then you can test it. Then you can change, what's on their head. Or what? Okay. Oh, okay, so this is new. So if I hit X, I can change it, what hat they're gonna wear. But then on it, if I like scroll through with left or right on the D-pad, I can change the positioning of the hat. So I didn't, okay. I don't know how I did not. This is weird. The way that they do the menus is really odd, and I'll kind of explain that a little bit here soon. You can set your eyes. So I have like sunglasses on. I have this weird like mustache, and then I have cowboy black hands. But the weird thing is, it's like you have to, using the D-pad, you scroll through the different options, and so you have to like go up to these arrows to go through the pages, and then go down to like the confirmation. There's not like a button to confirm your options, so it's kind of annoying to go through that stuff. And then you can set your team weapon, team flag, and then your team grave. So that stuff, plenty of options there. You can't really do that wrong, I guess. So that stuff's pretty cool. The item shop, you can use and you buy more customization options. The thing that I find really interesting about this item shop, though, is you have this loyalty item thing. So, let's say if I looked at this alien breed hat and clicked it, and it's like, oh, if you own alien breed impact, assault, or descent, then you automatically unlock this. And then the same for like worms or worms 2D through PSN. So I thought that was kind of neat. Like I don't think I've ever seen a game do that before, where it unlock. I mean, I guess maybe there. I just can't think of any games right now, but like unlocking different stuff by owning other games, even games that aren't related, like the Alien Impact stuff or Alien Breed. That seemed kind of neat, I guess. But of course, the meat of this is actually playing a game. So there's the tutorial mode, and then you have the story from Worms 4 and then the Worms 3D campaign. Those are basically a series of challenges that are like, well, you're on this map. We want you to collect this many items and kill all the worms on the map. And so it's about kind of navigating the map, killing the worms, and then collecting whatever items that you need to collect, or in some cases maybe blowing up something. And that just, a lot of that becomes really tiresome and boring because it quickly becomes a nuisance with just navigating a map, and I'll kind of explain that here as we jump into a game. So you can set up to 4 different players, 2 to 4, I guess 1, or you can do 1, but set up to 2 different players. Me just doing a quick match, it's gonna hop me right in. You can kind of go in and you can customize like a bunch of different options. Like there's plenty of options that you can change and stuff to do different things, choosing your map and what worms team that you want to use and stuff like that. So here you are. I know you see it's it's in 3D, and you control a worm and it plays out basically like a Worms 2D game would, except that it's in 3D, and that's the big change. If I press circle, I can open up this, and it's gonna give me a good selection of different weapons. I'm not gonna be able to actually go this turn. I wish there was a way. I probably should have went in and changed the amount of time that you had, so we'll wait till next turn. But so yeah, you have your time limit and everything. Occasionally, boxes like crates will hop down. Will drop down, and you can collect those. These are like teleportation pads, and you have your mines laying around. So if I open up circle and I choose, say, like the bazooka, I do that. I enter square to go into a first-person mode, and I can aim at somebody who is not on my team, like John over here. I don't know if you can really see it, but because I'm aiming at him, he throws his hands up and is like, no, don't attack me. Some of them will point at other worms to be like, no, you should totally aim at him. But I'm gonna attack John. I'm gonna hold down R2. See the bottom left, there's like a power meter, and I didn't really hit him. But you saw on the bottom left, like you can control the power that you want and everything like that. The problem really with this game, and just being in 3D in general, is that it's really hard to, especially with grenades, it's hard to really tell where your attack is gonna hit. Even after playing it for a while, it's just really like you don't get the precision that you really kind of would need for a Worms game, even like up close. Like barely like tapping this, it's kind of sending me all over the place, so it's kind of hard to line up anyways. At the same time, this game is really kind of boring. Like, I have a hard time playing this for more than an extended period of time. Like, I have to just constantly be taking breaks, and usually I can play games for hours on end if I really need to, if I need to barrel through something, like maybe for a review, but this one's a lot tougher. So let's use, like, dynamite. These are all your weapons that you're used to from a Worms game. And if you played Worms 3D or Worms 4 Mayhem before, probably already know what to expect, because there's not really anything new. Another thing that happens, I don't know if you'll see it here, but sometimes like you'll shoot a bazooka maybe like, and there will be a wind speed, so you can shoot it and you try to angle it to where it wraps around the wall to hit a worm that might be hiding behind some kind of barrier, and the camera really fights with you on that, and sometimes it gets very tough to see like what kind of damage you actually are doing. On top of that, the controls for a lot of these things don't work very well. So let's show off one example. So I can get this jetpack, and I hold R2 to use it. So say if I wanted to land over here, I can do that, but it's kind of hard to actually control it. If I wanted to maybe land over on that rocket over there, if I have time. Like, you can do it, but especially, there are challenges, so I'll talk about a little bit later, that make it very difficult to actually do that. We're not actually going to play a full round, because that will take too long. Let's see, maybe show some of the other weapons. Throwing grenade, you go into square, just your power, and it goes. Let's see what else we can show off really quickly. There's your sheep. So if I lay down the sheep, maybe... Oh. Yeah, so I go up here. Lay the sheep down. Activate it with R2 if he blows up. you have like your super sheep, and so you'll do that, press R2, and then the super sheep will fly around, and once he hits something, he'll explode, and that's kind of difficult to control as well. A lot of just issues with precision and actually being able to control certain weapons and gadgets that you have that should not be as hard as they are to control, anyways. And so there is a lot of it's just really annoying controls and a very annoying camera. It's very boring. Just kind of just kind of dull. There's nothing really new. This is the Worms that we've known for a very long time, and it just so happens that it does not work very well in 3D. So I mean, you know, there's that. So it's kind of how you know how this plays out, right? So we're gonna exit this game, and really that's all there is to show. There's an online, so you know I can go online. Go to Penguins. I can choose like a quick match, but I've been having a whole lot of trouble actually finding other players. And what you know it, like, I say that, and actually, we're finding people. Let it be said, this is literally the first time I have ever been able to hop in and be in a match within 20 seconds. Every other match I have found has been upwards of 10 minutes of sitting in a lobby. But yeah, we're not gonna actually show that. Sorry, guys. So yeah, maybe you'll get lucky, but every other time I have gone in, it has been like just sit at a lobby and go off and do something until I start hearing sounds that indicate that I am being hit by a weapon. What else? So there are challenges. Challenges are basically like they're almost weapon tutorial. Like they could almost serve as a good way to practice with different weapons. So like they will give you one weapon or a gadget and say do this in a certain amount of time. And that could be great, but again, when you don't have the precision that you really need, when a lot of these gadgets and weapons don't control the way that they should, it doesn't really help. So ultimately, you know, it's Worms, and it's Worms in 3D, and that's something that I think everybody kind of already knows that it does not work well. Like if you're gonna play Worms, play the 2D versions. Don't get that. This is gonna run you $15. I cannot recommend this at all. It's really dull, and it's hard to play for. It's hard to play. It's boring. It can get very frustrating dealing with the camera and dealing with just some of the controls of the gadgets and weapons that you need to use. And there's not really a whole lot to it. And you know, the Worm series hasn't really evolved in the past 15 or so years. You know, there's been the only real addition has been 3D, and that did not work out very well at all. So, you know, you can read the review, see why I gave it a 2 out of 5. It's just not very good. And I don't know if I'd really be interested in another Worms game. Maybe if they went back to 2D and made some really big additions, maybe. But at this point, like, I don't really think I care about the Worms series at all anymore. Like, it's not, you know, run into the ground, keep releasing games, but they're not very good. At least anymore. Not anymore, they're not. Especially this game. This game's not great at all. So there you go. Thank you for watching. The review should be up right now. So check that out.